All right, so let's talk about chapter 23 now, the Galactic Empire. So we left off in the last chapter. We were talking about SETI and that it had not picked up any signals from other worlds. And so the question is, well, what are the odds that SETI will ever work? I mean, obviously, if Earth is the only place where advanced intelligent life is in the entire universe, then searching for signals from other worlds is pointless because there would be no signals from other worlds. On the other hand, if the universe is teeming with intelligent life, then there's probably some stars fairly close to Earth that have advanced civilizations on them that could be broadcasting, and SETI is a reasonable effort to try to pick up from those. See if we can pick up signals from those stars. So the question is how likely is it that other technologically advanced societies are out there with whom we could communicate, or perhaps more simply, who we could detect signals from? And this depends on a variety of factors. Okay, things like, for example, how likely is it that there's planets going around other stars? Okay, in other words, how likely is it that other solar systems exist? How likely is it that if you have planets going around other stars, that there's life on some of those planets? How likely is it that if you have life on other planets, you get advanced societies of the sort that can communicate via electromagnetic waves on those? And then, what is the lifespan of an advanced society? This last question is, just sort of imagine all your disaster movies that you ever hear about. That end civilization. We know in general on Earth civilizations do rise and fall, and you can imagine all kinds of ways in which our technologically advanced civilization could come to an end, and most of them have been covered in one or many times in some disaster movie. Nuclear war, a plague, some sort of dread disease that wipes out civilization, some sort of environmental catastrophe that wipes out civilization. An asteroid comes in from space and collides with Earth and wipes out civilization. Zombies arise, and the apocalypse of zombies wipes out civilization. Obviously that last one is a joke, okay, but it's not scientifically plausible. However, the other ones are, and it is conceivable that civilizations come to an end. That just because you have a civilization that's advanced does not mean it will stay advanced for all time. It may be that all advanced peoples eventually come into some sort of inner peace and stop using technology, and they all go back to the land, for the rest of the duration of their species, and they live a simple lifestyle. Who knows? But the basic idea is, how long does a civilization last? All of these things factor into how likely it would be to pick up signals from another world, okay, out beyond our solar system. And kind of the likelihood and the chances of doing this are worked out through a process that's loosely called the Drake equation, in which you sort of do a calculation to get an idea of how many civilizations would you think would be out there right now. So this is just a loose example. Okay, let's just go with some basic figures. Okay, suppose, for example, that there's 200 billion stars in our galaxy. Okay, it's not too hard to guess how many stars are in a galaxy. You look at how bright galaxies are. You look at how bright a star is. You see how many times brighter is a galaxy than a star, and that gives you a rough idea of how many stars make up a galaxy. So you say there's 200 billion stars in our galaxy. Let's suppose that half of those stars have planets, okay? And we know from studies of what are called exoplanets, we've discovered planets going around other stars. We know that there are plenty of other stars that have planets, okay? So we say, let's just suppose that half of all stars out there have planets, okay? So you had 200 billion stars, half of them have planets, so you figure you now have 100 billion stars with planets in our galaxy. And then you say, well, of all those planets that are out there, what fraction of those are going to be suitable for life? Okay. Well, this is just a wide open question. It can be, well, I guess it's not that wide open, but it's very difficult to know exactly how many planets in a solar system are going to be suitable for life. And I'm going to pick our solar system and say that we have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. We got eight planets. One of them is suitable for life. I'll just round that down a little bit and say, let's just suppose that this is kind of normal and 1 out of 10 is suitable for life, Earth, okay? Well, I had 100 billion stars with planets. If each system has 1 in 10 on average has a planet suitable for life, or that there's one, they produce 1 in 10 planets suitable for life, I'm just going to say 10 billion planets suitable for life. 10 billion Earths out there. That's a lot of suitable planets. And then, okay, well, if they're suitable for life, are they going to have any life on them? And then, I don't really know what makes life pop up on a planet. But I was just saying, I'll thought of a number of a half. Okay, I've argued that, it's likely that if a planet is suitable, then through some mysterious mechanism, life will appear on it. That gets me down to 5 billion planets with life, that have life on them. And then, okay, well, if they have life, do they have an advanced society on it? Okay, this becomes really a debatable point, okay, because you can make the argument that life tends to beget intelligence, okay, we think that intelligence is a great mechanism for survival, and you can say that, life will produce intelligence one way or another. You can also turn around and argue in the other direction and say that most life forms on Earth are not intelligent, that there's 10 gazillion bacteria and bugs and things like that have no brains whatsoever. They will never build a radio telescope, and therefore that intelligence is very rare. But for the sake of my calculation, I'm just going to say 1 in 5. Okay, 1 in 5 planets that have life will get an advanced civilization. So I had 5 billion planets with life. 1 in 5 of them gets an advanced civilization, so I'm down to 1 billion planets with advanced civilizations at some point or another. And then I suppose I say, well, an advanced civilization, how long will it last? Well, suppose I just pick 1,000 years, or some thousands of years. Okay, not millions of years, not tens of years, thousands of years. Well, then what's the chance of actually finding one of those civilizations? Because if the lifespan of a civilization is some thousands of years, then it's possible that back when Aristotle was alive, the nearest star with an advanced civilization, that civilization had some sort of environmental catastrophe and came to an end, a couple thousand years ago. And therefore it's not there. And it could be that there's a star fairly close to Earth that has intelligent life on it, but they're currently at the level of like Aristotle right now, and they won't be advanced for a few thousand more years to go before they get up to being able to produce radio signals. So the question is what's available now that we might talk to. And so loosely speaking, if they live thousands of years is the lifespan of their civilization, a planet's lifespan we think is some billions of years. So thousands over billions comes out to like a 1 in a million. All right. So if you have a 1 in a million chance out of, we said, 5 billion planets with 1 billion planets with advanced civilizations, you get down to about 1,000 planets. Okay. There's 1,000 advanced civilizations in our galaxy. How likely is it that there's going to be one close enough for us to pick up their signals? And that's the way these kind of calculations work. And people can be more optimistic or more pessimistic about the numbers, and it's pretty easy to go calculate up, quite a few civilizations or none, depending on kind of where your guesses fall.